I'm so pleased to join all of you today as we honor the many contributions made by California's veterans to the safety and security of our nation. As policymakers, one of the single most fundamental responsibilities we have is to ensure that we do right by the men and women who bravely don the uniform of the United States in defense and service of our nation. They have shouldered the burdens and sacrifices of their service and done so in a way that reflects well on all that serve. I also want to take a moment to recognize those who sacrifice alongside our soldiers. The husbands and wives, children and siblings, parents and partners of our service members who are left behind when they're deployed. They too must sacrifice for our nation, and I want to recognize them for that sacrifice. These are clearly challenging times for our nation and our state. Ensuring our veterans receive the care and support to which they're entitled is one of our most important duties in solving the other challenges that we face, especially for the generation of veterans who are returning home from Iraq and Afghanistan. We need to ensure that we do right by them. That's why I've joined my colleagues, Colonel Cook and Dr. Pan, to author a bill that will create an interagency council on Veterans Affairs. This council will serve to ensure that our veterans programs are coordinated more efficiently and that services are provided to veterans who have earned them. This is an important effort because we all know that clearly many of the challenges facing veterans returning home from combat, especially with ensuring access to resources for mental health, housing, and job training programs necessary to ensure a smooth and well-deserved transition back to civilian life. As part of that effort, the Assembly has set aside over $1 million from slashing our own budget to provide needed assistance to veterans throughout California. With that money, we're able to do a number of positive things for veterans. We're able to provide 2 full-time mental health counselors at the National Guard, as well as establishing the Veterans Claims Training Academy in the Department of Veterans Affairs. We provided additional funds for the Veterans Stand-Downs, where homeless veterans are able to access services ranging from counseling to job training assistance. And we're able to establish 2 15-person fire crews composed entirely of veterans through the California Conservation Corps. I've often said that the challenges facing our state require creative solutions, and I'm pleased that the Assembly was able to take this money from our budget savings and have real-world impacts in the lives of veterans throughout the state. We must do right by our veterans, and I'm so pleased to have Colonel Cook and Dr. Pan's partnership in this effort. Now I want to take a moment of personal privilege and recognize the 46th Assembly District Veteran of the Year, Tony Zapata. Tony served our nation in Vietnam after enlisting in the United States Navy. He was present in Da Nang during the Tet Offensive. After his honorable discharge, Tony became active in the VFW and has served as commander of VFW Post 4696 in Los Angeles. But his service didn't end with his honorable discharge. He's become one of the most prominent and effective civic leaders in the southeast communities of Los Angeles County, and his leadership isn't limited to veterans issues. A few months ago, I was participating in a turkey giveaway for Thanksgiving at a local church in my community. And I saw Tony and figured he was coming by to say hello and maybe help out for a few minutes. 3.5 hours and thousands of families later, I turned around and there I saw Tony standing behind me, having spent his entire day helping families in need throughout our community. He's a man who embodies the civic values we cherish. He goes where he's needed, and he does it with a song in his heart. His service to our nation, to our state, and to our community is an example to all of us. He's been a leader for veterans throughout Southern California and is a testament to the fine men and women who are willing to make safeguarding the United States of America their personal responsibility. To Mr. Zapata and all of the brave men and women here today, I want to conclude by thanking you for your service from the bottom of my heart.